Okay friends, so we're going to start with 500 grams of flour. Usually the recipe calls for bread flour, but I'm making use of all-purpose flour that I will add some other ingredients to sort of mimic the bread flour. So here I have 466. We're going to weigh, okay, 500 grams of flour. To that I'm going to add something called gluten flour. Okay, so this helps add the extra protein that's missing from the all-purpose flour. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of that gluten flour to here. So this will help improve the structure of the dough. Also, I have something here called dough softener. That also helps to give you a soft, fluffy dough. So this would not need much of that in the flour. So about a half teaspoon is perfect for this amount of flour that I have here. Then to this we will add some salt, a teaspoon of salt. One teaspoon of salt. And the yeast, we're going to add 2 teaspoons of yeast. Okay. Let me just whisk this in. You're going to whisk it in. I could have just weighed everything straight in the pot, but then in the pan, but sifting gives a lighter, also helps to give a lighter dough. Okay, so we have this here. Now to this we're going to add 90 grams of sugar. And 90 grams of eggs. So you're going to put the bowl on the scale, zero the scale, and then break each egg into the bowl, right? So you would get 90 grams of the egg without the shell. So 90 grams of egg is almost two medium eggs. Okay, so it might be a little more, a little less, but it's okay. Or 1 large egg. So to this I'm going to mix this here a little to incorporate the flour. And the other thing, so the water, we need about a cup of water. Now the thing about the water is, because flours are different, bread flour absorbs more water than all-purpose flour. We have to be careful with the water. You add the water gradually. You could start with 3/4 cups and then increase it as you go. So we have this here. So I think that's all the measuring for now. So I will remove the scale. So we also have to add 50 grams of butter, okay? But we will add this in a bit. So for our classic Caribbean flavors, nutmeg, it's a must. For me, nutmeg is a must in donut. So to that, I'm going to add about a teaspoon, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, so then we're going to mix this in. I'm starting with the spoon because my mixer, I don't know what's wrong with it, and it just starts on a high speed when you turn it on. So I'm going to add in the butter now. and we mix that. Now you see the dough, for me it appears a bit dry still. I'm going to put it in the mixer. I'm going to put it on the mixer and allow it to run before I put a little extra water. I think it can take a little more water, so I'm going to add a little more water to it here. Okay, so that's what it looks like for now. What I will do now, I'm going to allow it to rest for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I will come back to finish the mixing of the dough. Okay? After 10 minutes, checking the dough, it has softened. Actually, the flour has absorbed most of the moisture. So what we're going to do now is allow it to mix for about 10 to 15 minutes until we get a nice smooth dough that is nice and stretchy, that you can almost see through. Okay, so we're going to start it and allow it to run. So while the dough is mixing, then we prep the paper on which we're going to be putting the dough on to rise. Okay, so I cut strips of parchment paper, or if you don't have parchment paper, you can use wax paper, and you cut squares. Okay, about the size you think would suit the size of your donut. Okay, so I do that until I have enough pieces. Okay, so you're going to put them in there. So that would prevent the donuts from sticking to it. Okay, so you will do that based on your recipe, for the number of trays that you need. This recipe I have it will yield about 15 to 16 donuts at about 60 grams. So yes, I need other trays as well. Okay, so you would prepare this and set it aside until you're ready for it. Okay, so we're going to stop the mixer and test the dough to see how close it is to having the texture we're looking for. Okay, so it looks smooth. I'm just grabbing a piece of the dough. See, it is still very tacky, so that means it is not good yet. It's not supposed to leave any dough on your hands like this, so it's not good yet. I'm going to allow it to run some more. Okay, so let's test the dough once again to see where it's at. Just grab a piece of dough. It's already smooth. Not sure if you can see that. It's smoother than before. And just grab a piece. See how stretchy it is? So you want to stretch it open to see how easy it opens. The fact that it is still breaking up like this on the edge, it means that it is not ready yet. So I'm going to allow it to go again for a few more minutes. So it has been about 15 minutes of mixing for the dough, and I think that's a good amount of time. Look at the dough, it is soft and nice. So I'm going to take it out now. Apologies. Okay, so this is the dough. See how nice it is? I added some oil to the board so it would not stick on it. So so we're going to allow this dough, put it in a bowl and allow it to rise for about an hour or until it's doubled in size. Okay. So we're going to leave that in there, covered. Okay, so we're back to checking the dough to see how it has risen, and there it is, guys. See? This feels so soft. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut the dough into 60 grams pieces. You can cut it to whatever size you want. 60 grams is sort of medium size. You can go up to 80 grams. 80 grams is sort of large. You can do 40 grams, which is small. Okay, so once you know the quantity of your dough, then with every recipe you make, you can know how many donuts you're going to get from each recipe. Okay, so I'm going to use this to cut each piece. Okay, so now that all the dough has been cut and weighed, now it's time to roll each piece of dough. Okay, so you take each piece and we call that molding. You mold the dough. Okay. Make sure the bottom is closed for each one. And we put it on the paper. Okay, so there you have it. Cup. And you want the bottom to be closed because we don't want, when it starts to fry, for it to open up. Okay. Okay, so now that I'm done molding each donut, each piece of dough, then what I do, I would dip my hand in some flour and flatten the top of each one gently like this. This is a recipe that calls for a lot of patience, so because it has a lot of resting time. So after I'm done with this, now I'm going to put it to rise for about an hour, about 50 minutes to an hour, although it may take less time since it is quite warm. Okay, so I will cover it with some cling film. Okay friends, so I have put the donuts in the oven with the light on so it can rise faster. Also, if you find that it may not rise fast enough, you can boil a kettle of water and pour it in a pan and place it in the bottom, right? And that would create steam and help the donuts rise faster. Okay, so friends, I checked the donut and see how it jiggles. Now that means it's ready. And you know, one thing I didn't do yet was to put the oil, maybe about 10 minutes or so before it was ready. So now I'm going to have to do this and pray that it does not overproof, because whenever the dough overproofs, that also causes it to shrink when you put it in the oil, and it also causes it to be dense. Okay, so you have to be careful not to allow your dough to overproof. So that's why it's important to set a timer for 50 minutes, 60 minutes, depends on the temperature in your home, depends on the reaction of your dough when you put it to rise. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn this on. Okay, so here I'm using this dip pan, right? It's a wok, W-O-K, right? It is something I like to fry in because it's deep, and so the donut can really sit and float on the oil. Okay, and you do not want shallow oil, you want it deep enough. You want to have enough oil in the pot. That was an error on my part, that I was not paying attention to put the oil a few minutes ago. Okay, so in cases like this, what I do, I would uncover and just allow it to air out, because when you touch the dough, make sure your hands are clean always. When you press it lightly, see, it goes back up slowly. That means it's good. And also the jiggle, see how it jiggles? That means it's good. It's ready to be fried. But my oil is not ready, so we're going to give it a few minutes, and I'll be back when it is when it reaches temperature. In the meantime, don't forget you need a thermometer in the oil, so you would know when the oil reaches 160 to 170 degrees Celsius. When you fry in oil that is too cold or not hot enough, what happens is when you put the dough in, it absorbs the oil, and it does not rise well. So you would have a dough that's dense it is oily, and it's dense, heavy. Okay, that's not what you're looking for. When your oil is hot enough and you put your donut in there, it's supposed to float on the oil, right? So, and it would cook slowly, get nice golden brown on one side before you turn it to the other side, right? So that donut, when it's cooked, it will be light. You would see the white ring around it, and also it would not be heavy. It would be really, really light. Okay, so it is very important that you have your oil temperature right, that you do not have the heat too high either, because you don't want a donut where the inside of it is raw and the outside of it brown, is too brown, right? That's not it. That's why it is taking up this. It is, you must have patience and you must pay attention to all the circumstances, the feel of the dough, the oil temperature, all of those things. You have to pay attention to it. Okay, now generally most people, they would put recipes out there like this, but the nitty-gritty details, they would leave it out. My video may be longer than normal, but I would rather have it longer and somebody learns from it, and at least they can get the results almost like what I get, right? And not so far from it, right? So it will be long because that whole process is long, but I hope it is worth it, and I hope that it's appreciated. So the temperature has gotten to 180. So I will start putting the donut in there, and you put it in the oil. See how it is floating? This is what you want. You do not want, when you put the donut, that it sinks. Okay, so you would flip it, and there, you see this? This is what you're looking for. You see that white ring around it? You're looking for that. So that means that the donut has risen well, it has proofed well, and it's supposed to be nice and fluffy on the inside. So you do not have to put all your donut one time in the oil. You can always test it test one before you put all of it. So then when you're satisfied that the oil is hot enough, or the dough has risen well, because sometimes you may think that it has risen well and it hasn't, so you would give it some time. Okay, so you allow it to brown on both sides, and then you will take it out. So this one is good, so we're going to remove it. See how it's gently bubbling? That's what you're looking for. You do not want heavy bubbles. The white rings are a sign that your donut has risen well. Okay, so here we are, the beautiful donuts. I started the process in the day, and it's now night. Okay, so that's to show you how long the process goes on. So in here I have cinnamon sugar, right? So I have some granulated sugar and some cinnamon powder. So it has the cinnamon sugar and plus the nutmeg in the donut, makes it really, really nice. Okay, so now to fill the donuts, you can use your choice of fillings. There, you can use jam, you can use preserves, you can use cream cheese fillings. There is custard, that you can use. So the fillings are endless. It's all about you. But tonight I'm going to show you how I use this here. Okay, so I have a piping bag. I'm just going to put it in a cup to make it easy. So I use a knife to punch a hole in there. Right? Use a knife, use a pair of scissors that you use for your kitchen for food. You just punch the hole. Right? These as well, those that I feel, I also sugar them. And you go in like this. You press while you come up. Okay? See how nice and soft this is? Soft, fluffy. Tastes so good.